Hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News, your twice-weekly dose of the finest 2A propaganda. What's up, y'all?
Oh man, not this guy again.
Man, not this guy again.
It's me, Taylor, or Spicy if we're internet friends. Today, our news robot is currently undergoing some refitting and PMCS, so you're stuck with me, that Spicy editor dude. I'm not Andrew. Sorry. I'm just a store brand. We here on the news team are not into sports ball, but if you are, that's cool too, because we're all about freedom. With that being said, you may or may not have watched the Super Bowl. But I bet you probably heard about the shooting at the Chiefs rally that was perpetrated by two human trash cans that started arguing about why they were staring at each other before beginning to shoot into a crowd of almost 1 million people. Not ironically, that smooth brain that kicked the whole thing off recently got off probation for pulling a gun while playing sports at a local community center, and even more surprisingly,
drum roll please,
was using a stolen gun at the rally.
Hey, I've seen this one. This is the
dumbest thing I ever did.
Tragically, their idiocy took the life of a local DJ and injured over 24 people. Naturally, the control freaks deployed their anti-freedom lemmings immediately and predictably. And then...
But wait, there's more.
This past week, a former ATF agent decided to place the cherry on top of that anti-freedom poop sundae. He begins his harangue with the usual emotional outcry of "Stop the madness," and then proceeds to explain that he knows, unequivocally, and of course without presenting any actual data, that the pro-gun legislation recently passed in Missouri in the past few years is responsible.
Prove it.
If you tuned in last week, you know that these agents are immensely knowledgeable about firearms and are true subject matter experts.
Yeah, you're a bad liar.
This former agent then goes on to support his logical fallacy by stating, remember, the perpetrators of the Chiefs rally mass shooting at Union Station were carrying and using handguns and an assault rifle. Despite numerous reports stating a Taurus and a Glock were recovered as evidence on scene, I wanted to mention this story in addition to making fun of the control freaks because I feel we as gun owners and Americans should be equally or more passionate about getting involved with our legislature to protect our rights, as passionate as these bootlicking tyrants are to strip us of them. It's up to us, folks. Nobody's coming.
No, they do call to me.
But it would be impossible for us to produce quality 2A propaganda without sponsors, so let's pay some bills. Today's video is sponsored by TMVC.com, your source for good old-fashioned all-American night vision, just like Mom used to make.
See at nighttime. Nighttime seeing is important. Don't you want to see things? Seeing things is better. What's wrong with you? You don't want to see things. TMVC.
Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. This weekend, a group of Hartford, Connecticut residents calling themselves the Self-Defense Brigade and members of a local church decided they are tired of crime in their area and began their first armed neighborhood patrols this past Saturday to clean up the streets of trash and crime. The catalyst for this event was a double homicide that occurred earlier this month about a block away from the church. And the group states they are committed to patrolling the area about 3 times a week around the church, primarily in the evenings. Naturally, the Hartford, Boxwine, Karen Brigade, and local politicians screeched in horror at the idea.
No more guns in our community!
To make it even spicier, they invited State Rep Craig Fishbein, a Republican and firearms trainer, to open the event by helping explain state firearm laws regarding how to make sure that everyone is legally carrying during these patrols. I gotta give Fishbone some credit. It actually seems as he is about gun rights. And to put all of this into perspective, he showed up to help in a city that hasn't had a Republican mayor since 1971, and he even received vocal criticism about his policies while teaching the class. This apparently really upset the mayor, Arunan Arulampalam, sorry if I mispronounced that, who had this incredible, bombastic, tone-deaf comment towards the group. Mind you, these are his constituents, and this just happens to be an all-black church. Arugula said, to bring in a conservative lawmaker who has fought against essentially every gun safety measure that would make our community safer to teach a course to wannabe George Zimmermans is incredibly irresponsible. Wow. Way to say the quiet part out loud, bro. That's a pretty bold statement for someone who gets police protection at any time they want it.
Are we the baddies?
I'm curious to see what you guys think on this story, and I'm kind of curious to see how it pans out. Obviously, we're never going to agree on anyone with every issue, but I'm happy that we can at least agree that Americans should be armed and gun rights are important.
So say we all.
So, what do you think? Do programs like this work to reduce crime? How much training do people need to be considered qualified to be involved? Leave us a comment below. I always love to see what y'all think, even if it's just that you're complaining that I'm not Andrew. It's all good. I still love you. Speaking of protective details and armed agents of the state, the ever smoldering dumpster fire of self-congratulation known as the Oscars had a record number of guns present this year.
That's impossible.
This could mean only one thing.
You're full of shit. He's full of shit.
Guns, you say? You know, the same guns that these demagogues and oligarchs love to preach about us normies not being able to own. Described as a ring of steel, over 2,000 private security officers were present, not including the around 9,000 officer-strong presence from the LAPD that was planned. All because they don't want a repeat of the Grammys, where the mostly peaceful protesters were blocking traffic for the same cause that most of Hollywood has been furiously tweeting about since October 7th. The Academy told the media their goal on Sunday is to support and celebrate artists and avoid politics and the political landscape. Actors, avoiding politics, the irony hurts so good. Regardless of what your thoughts are on current events in other parts of the world, I personally encourage anyone I meet to stop contributing their hard-earned money to these shills. These are the same people that are asking you to donate money while their millions of dollars are not going to any of those causes. Never forget how much they loathe the Constitution and our rights. Never forget how they want to lecture and shame us on needing to take responsibility for our own security and the people we love. And remember, we live in the internet age, and you can always hoist the colors. Arr. And now, for your moment of zen. Do you like pews and pew-related things? Do you want to help us keep delivering you pure, uncut American pew propaganda at the low, low price of $3.50? We literally couldn't pay the bills without our sponsors. So do us a solid and get yourself something nice from them. You deserve it. We love y'all.